How much money do you think you have to be considered rich?
If you're earning over 70k a year, you're probably rich in my eyes. But
$700,000 or $800,000 household income annually.
if you don't have to look for yellow tickets at the supermarket, then you're rich.
Like 70,000, 80,000. Yeah. The previous classification of like middle class, I would say that's like rich now. I mean, the middle class is like eroding.
How long do you think paternity leave is for dads in Australia?
2 weeks.
4 weeks?
Really? You get it done in a week.
I would have said 4 weeks or a month.
So it's actually 2 weeks.
Okay.
I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, 2 weeks with a newborn doesn't sound like a overly generous amount.
What's your thoughts on that? Do you think that's enough time?
To bond with a baby? Probably not, really, no.
I think for women, like, they should pay for up to a year. And then men, maybe like 6 months paid. That's what it should be.
I definitely think it should be more.
Yeah.
If I were lucky enough to become a parent, I would hope to get anywhere between 2 and 3 months.
Yeah. What's one thing that you think women don't understand about men?
I think women have figured men out pretty well over the years.
Don't get how hard it is, how hard it is to be a man out here on the street.
I think if you sit down to pee, then it doesn't, as a man, like it doesn't all get out, like, and then you go to stand up and you end up like spraying the rest of the pee out as you stand up because your bladder like stretches out. So I think sometimes when they like you go to like a gym and you see piss on the toilet seat or on the ground, it's not because they're just like fire hosing everywhere.
Yeah.
It's because they've gone to sit down so they can look at their phone and they stand up and then it just sprays out.
I don't know if women needed to know that. I was thinking more on an emotional level, but like, I love your honesty.
Maybe that's what women don't get about men is you ask a deep question like that and you're like, oh, I'm waiting for some real
This is
insight.
what I
And they're
said.
like,
I think...
well, it's I just don't get it.
My honest answer is nothing.
I think you'd be wrong to trust men.
Do you take the male contraceptive pill?
Oh, geez. I'd look into it. Well, I think there's been a burden put on women for long enough to consider these things, so I'd look into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you don't look like it. I have high cholesterol and I always forget to take that pill. If the time was right, I'd be like, yeah, definitely. I'd take it all the time. I'm up to date with those.
Yeah,
so.
I'd say if you take it late, like it's not effective. There's just a lot of risk. I don't know if I would trust men to be honest.
I think you'd be wrong to trust men.
I would take it, but I think what they should do like an implant for men. And it's like, have you seen Logan's Run? They've got like the jewel in their hand, and when they get too old, it flashes. They should have an implant like in their hand that you can see it, so you know that like it's good. If it's expired, then it like flashes.
Certainly open to it. I think we can also play our part if a prospective couple aren't ready to bring a child into this world. It should be, the onus should be, or the responsibility should be on both.
Who wants to bring kids into a world that you know is like probably not going to get any better anytime soon?
Why do you think younger people are having less kids?
Sheer cost of it, it's pretty expensive to look after yourself these days, let alone children. I think younger people probably have concerns that they see as being pretty dire, whether it's the state of the world generally or climate, and I think there's a lot of things that appear pretty ghastly to young people, and many might be asking the question of whether they want to bring a young one into the world with the state of affairs.
Main thing is just Aussie lives. It's just it's
that's
expensive to have kids. I think a lot of people would have more kids if they could afford to, but like you just realistically can't afford to have kids. And the other thing is too, is I think as that culture changes, like people are like, well, the meaning of life isn't necessarily having kids. It's people just being like, you can have a meaningful life and just have a dog.
Probably just the fact that things are a lot more expensive these days as well, and if they want to do really good by their child, want to send them to good schools and make sure that they are fulfilled and happy. So I feel like that's probably top of the list.
Cost of living. Who wants to bring kids into a world that you know is like probably not going to get any better anytime soon? Things are pretty rough at the moment. I think we have more foresight than previous generations at the moment.